Do you ever get that feeling you've got somebody that you're working with that you can just trust, that's confident, high integrity, and going to do a great job? We've got somebody like that here in studio, everybody. ABS Home Services. My buddy Brendan here, he's going to tell us all about how to successfully run a business. That first interview was dynamite. We're getting ready now. We're recording our second interview with this expert. Stay tuned, everybody. It's the Your Little Castle Show. Welcome back to the Your Little Castle Show. We often have our guests stick around for another half an hour. We want to really get to know them and what they bring to the table, how they're helping our community. And we had a great first interview. If you miss any of our interviews when they air on ABC, we're on 5 times a week now, and I've been doing that for, I don't know, about a year, I'd say. And but sometimes we'll dedicate 2 shows, most times dedicate 2 shows to our guests, to allow them to share all of what they do to make it a little easier for you to make a decision, feel comfortable when you're deciding you've got a home purchase or a home repair or a garage door, or big decisions to make there. With that, I think it's important. That's why we focus on small business owners. What do you think some of the benefits you bring to the table by being a small business owner, having a small crew that can pay close attention to your customers?
The big thing is just quality of service. We can make sure that they're getting good quality service and getting good input into what they're doing when it comes to the garage door world and selecting and options and things when they're trying to upgrade. We are not high pressure sales. My guys are paid, very well for the work that they do, but we don't do commission-based stuff, because I found as I worked for some other places that it tended to be that you would have those commission-based guys pushing sales of things that didn't necessarily need to be done, or pushing customers into things that they didn't want because they were trying to gain a commission.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I'll throw another industry out there, different industry. We'll just say something that keeps you hot and cold. But I realized a lot of the technicians were actually salespersons more often, and they come in to say, "Oh, this thing's just not repairable. You might as well get a new unit. Let's sign you up for that. We've got great financing." That's an interesting tactic, but not something you recommend.
It's coming to all service industries. HVAC was one of the big ones that started it. It's now in the appliance industry. There are local companies around here, bigger guys names, that they are now selling appliances, and the service techs that come out to repair things will actually get a bonus or a commission for selling a new appliance versus fixing it. And to me, I think that's a little dishonest. I'd rather keep your appliance going and save you the money of buying something new and the hassle of dealing with delivery and everything else. And then same thing, even in the garage door world, the companies that are out there, their technicians are commissions technicians that if they sell a repair, or they sell more of a repair than maybe what you need, they make extra money on that. I don't think that's how we should treat people, and I wouldn't want people to treat me like that when I call out somebody to my place to fix things or work on my car or anything else.
Write that one down, everybody. Question the incentives that might be in place there for people saying, "Hey, no, you got a little switch problem over here. Why don't we get a whole new unit?" That's not necessarily the best solution, but if they can get that extra commission, it can be something they benefits them personally, and it's got to be a win-win-win. And we talk about that. Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Tell me the process. Somebody wants to hire you. By now, I'm sure a lot of people are going, "All right, this is a straight shooter, somebody, good background, been doing this for a long time, got a great team." How easy is it? Go to the website, walk me through the process a little bit.
Easiest one is you can take the phone number, 314-440-5132. You can call or text. Most of the time when you do either of those, you're going to talk directly to me, sometimes to one of my guys if they're taking care of the phones for me. You can also go to the website on the schedule service tab there, and just fill out the contact information in there, a little bit of description about what you have going on, and then we can get in touch with you and get something scheduled up for you. We are working on trying to do an instant booking service that is not in place yet, but right now the easiest is to just call or text us. And text is good because a lot of people, they're busy, they got other things going on. They send a quick message and we'll get back with them. We can call them if we need specific details, or just respond and get things taken care of. When you book with us, everything then goes into our system, and you'll start to get a quick little text that just says, "Hey, we confirmed your appointment." This is what time you're scheduled. This is your technician that's coming out, so you know who to expect to be coming out to take care of you. And then all the confirmation, kind of text that'll go through there just to make sure that you know when your appointment is and make sure that you're ready for us when we're going to get there. We're going to give you a text or a call ahead when we're on the way there so that you stay informed and you know what's going on. And it's not like the gas company where they say, we're going to be out there between 8 and 4, and you sit around all day long waiting for somebody to show up, and they show up at 4:30.
Yes, how many of us have dealt with that? But it's nice to have somebody you can call right direct, and it goes to the owner with the phone number that you find on the website. Pretty exciting to see somebody who really does a great job to help take care of their customers. What's the biggest mistake? This is one of my favorite questions, but what's one of the biggest mistakes? We have two industries to deal with here, but appliances and garage doors. Let's start off with appliances. How often, what do you see people mistake they're making? Is it replacing something before it's really gone, or buying the latest gadget they don't need? Or
For me, I'm a very utilitarian, simplistic person, so buying things that have got lots and lots of gadgets and gizmos and things like that, while
Features,
I
right?
enjoy the features and I enjoy the technology behind it,
Right.
it's more possibility for problem, more possibility for issue and cost later on to repair. So that's kind of going to be the big one that I usually tell people in my experiences is if there's not something specific that you really need or are looking for, buy the thing that has the most basic features and options that do what you need it to do, and don't worry about the rest of it, because they found out through a lot of industry, while people ask for more features, they ask for more stuff, when they actually do a lot of studies about it, they find out that they put all these kind of extra stuff on there, and then usually somewhere around 75 to 80% of the customers actually don't use those features, despite them asking for it.
Great data there, stats and data. That's I was about to say, how often we spend an extra $200, $500, whatever it might be, to get those extra features, only to find out we're never going to use those features anyway. And you're right, it's another component, it's got another moving part on it, whatever it might be, and now it breaks a little easier, and more things that can go wrong. So that's the big area you say to watch out for when you're talking about your home appliances. Any particular home appliance that you think is the most wearing? I mean, a washer, a
Typically,
dishwasher?
laundry equipment. Laundry equipment, when you think about when you put clothes inside of a washer, you pick up your basket of clothes, you know how heavy that is.
Right.
And then it's going to fill with 20 gallons of water.
Right.
And how much does water weigh?
Right.
8 pounds, a gallon,
gallon,
things
right.
like that. So when you think about all those wet clothes and everything, that's going to wear on that machine. Washers and dryers, everyone likes to say, oh, my grandma had a machine for 30 years and it worked great and it didn't have any problems. Well, yeah, that's true. And the older machines certainly last much longer than newer machines due to a lot of different factors. But it's also the use that they see. If you're a family of 6, 7, 8 and you're running that machine 3-4 times a day, every day of the week, your machine is simply not going to last as long as the little old lady that does laundry once a week. So the amount of use that those machines see and the type of use that they see and making sure that you're not overloading them, that you're taking care of them, doing maintenance, is going to greatly affect the life of those pieces of equipment.
Great advice there, everybody. Listen to what Brendan says here, because there's a lot that you've got to consider when you're making a purchase like this. Let's talk a little about garage doors. What's the biggest mistake people make when buying a garage door?
When buying a garage door is just make sure that you're spending enough time thinking about what it is that you're looking at, what you're buying, that it's going to be a good investment for what you're doing. Again, the insulated, non-insulated, I've had several customers, I've gotten to the point where I try to dissuade it as much as possible, but they buy a black garage door, they become very, very trendy.
Right.
Buying a black non-insulated garage door is going to make your garage very hot because black attracts heat.
Yes.
So we always try to, kind of tell everybody, hey, maybe a black uninsulated garage door would not be the best thing for you. I don't want to upsell, but I want to tell you that it's going to be hot. Just like everybody, you got a dark colored vehicle, it sits out in the sun. It's going to be hotter than a white car. That kind of stuff. It's those, principles of UV and radiation and heat.
Right.
So that's kind of one of the big ones. As far as service goes, the big one is maintenance. Most people don't think about it. It used to be that average lifespan of springs for a garage door for standard spring system was usually thought to be about 7 to 10 years. It's about 10,000 cycles is what they say.
Okay.
But it also depends on maintenance. Is it being maintained? Are we keeping all the garage door parts lubricated, running properly, things like that? Years ago, as they came up with that estimate about 7 to 10 years, it's also based on those cycles. How many times are you opening your door? For a lot of people, the garage door is now their front door. You come home, you're either pulling the car in the garage, you go out to take the trash cans out. People go out to get mail, they open up the garage door. They very rarely go out their front door. So think about how many times in a day that's going up and down, and those cycles start to add up.
Lots to consider, and it's best to have an expert that you can trust. That great reputation, been doing it for a long time. That's what ABS Home Services, our expert here. There he is, Brandon Smith, talking about it and doing a great job to help our community. Residential versus commercial. What percentage of each, and what do you like about it? We talked about that a little bit earlier in the first show, but reiterate for us about what you like. Residential, I think, is what you said you like mostly.
Yeah, primarily all residential. We'll do, especially in the garage door world, we'll do a little bit of light commercial. So small auto shops that have got, kind of just larger versions of a residential style door, things like that. But we don't really focus on warehouses and big commercial building, things like that. Again, it's the reward of a happy customer and that personal service we get dealing with somebody's home and making something better for their life and a daily life like that. I enjoy that, and it makes things a lot easier for us.
Well said, yes, and something we all, when you're making these purchases, how much do you spend, and when do you replace, and when do you upgrade, and or when do you continue to maintain and service? Important things to consider. What do you like about St. Louis? You born and raised here?
Born and raised here in St. Louis. I love the history of St. Louis. I love history in general, but so much that has happened and grown and moved and changed here in St. Louis, being here in the center of the country. And there's just so many amazing ties to this city, to many parts of history that are just kind of very, very interesting to me. Historic buildings, historic homes. One of the first jobs I had when I came out of trade school was I was actually worked in a couple of high rises downtown, the Wright Arcade building and Paul Brown building. I was helping take care of those as they were under construction. So really got interested in downtown and the history of a lot of our construction. And that leads into my experience that I've had working on any kinds of equipment that are 100 plus years old to put in 2 months ago. So I've really enjoyed the history that we have here, that we're new and old and a lot of mix in between. Old homes are something that I enjoy. My wife and I have rehabbed a couple of homes. Our home that we live in now was built in 1924. A lot of people are kind of scared of old homes and think there's always maintenance. If you take care of them and do the maintenance that's needed and they're a good built home, I think they're great. And I'm really like that St. Louis has that history here.
Yeah, a lot of the older homes are very rugged, very strong. A lot of stone and cement and concrete and brick. They'll last for a long time versus some of the newer homes that I happen to be a resident that has one of the with vinyl and some wood. But boy, if you get a nice home and maintain it properly, it can really last a long time.
Yep.
Cool. Tell me a time though. I'm sure with your many years of experience, gosh, just how many times has this happened where you had somebody you could just tell they were in a tough situation, and you said, all right, we're going to take care of this customer. And tell me about a situation like that.
I mean, that's always been something that we've tried to help out any customer that we can. We get a lot of calls from people that, they've had another service company out to work on something, and they either say that it's, not worth fixing, or they want to charge them way too much money to fix it. And so we want to go out and see, is there a possibility that we can make some kind of meaningful repair to keep things going? I have a lot of older generation that are customers of mine, and trying to keep things budget friendly for them and making sure that we can not cost them a lot of money as they're on Social Security, things like that, and make sure that we can keep things running for them without having to have big expenses and big things going on in their life. That's kind of a big thing that I like doing.
As a business owner, you get to make that decision. That's good to see you like to go out of your way to help in the community. Tell me a time as a hurdle you've overcome as a business owner. Those challenges every day with business, but one of the biggest things you were like, whoa, didn't see that coming. Made you stronger. You're still here.
We've had the struggles of, as I was on my own for many, many years, and then started to expand and getting more customers than I was going to be able to handle myself, and wanting to make sure I could take care of those customers. Hurdle was adding in technicians to work for me. And the big thing is having those technicians be people that I could trust, that I knew were going to take care of those customers as if I was the one standing there in their home, and releasing that trust into them. That's been a big thing for me, is to make sure that I know the guys that I'm sending into the home are going to do good work, take care of that customer, and having to have me let go of that and not micromanage them or be on top of them, because I know that they're doing the work that they need to do it.
Yeah, building a team. If you're going to expand your business, if you're a solopreneur, that's a great way to run. But if you're going to expand, you've got to build a team, and having a couple highly qualified technicians like you found that work with you really helped you to grow the business and make you take it to the next level.
Yep.
Good stuff. We're going to take a break here, everybody. We've got some more fun in the community, and stick around though, because we got a few more really important questions, a lot more discussion to have here with Brendan. He's an expert in our community. Stay tuned. We'll be back here in just a minute. Hey everybody, guess what? We get to have fun all the time at the Cardinal games. Before the game, we get to hang out with fun super fans. Say hello to my buddy Nino over here, Brett, Tanya, and Dixie. That's right. Everybody's in the video here. Family coming out to the game. Nino, what do you love about going to Cardinal games?
You love baseball?
Yeah. He loves baseball. Hey, all right. Scoring points with the Cardinal Cowboy.
Yeah,
Right?
he plays Miracle League baseball.
Do you really?
And he likes to be on the Cardinals team at home.
Yeah.
Wow. Nino, how many times have you been on that team? How many times have you done that?
A lot.
That's a good answer. All right. Dad, what's it like coming to the Cardinal games with your son and your wife, and all the fun you get to have down here?
Oh, it's the most fun. I mean, we've been coming since Old Bush. You know, now we've got New Bush Stadium. It's the best baseball town, and it's the most fun. You know, it's fun before the game. The games are always great, and we love it.
Well, I appreciate you guys taking time here. We're at Patios, everybody. This is where the most fun is. I get to wear the full outfit here. I got the pants, the socks, the arch, Nino, Brett, Tanya, and Dixie all here, and we're outside Patios having fun. Hey, say hi to Patios. Stop on by here before a Cardinal game, and we'll see you guys soon. Nino, give me some knuckles. There we go. Go Cardinals. Giddy up.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwish was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goal, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. So we're hearing all the time now why people need to be on our show. And it's pretty obvious. These days, the stats are proven. If you're going to get people's attention, you've got to get them with video. Google loves video. YouTube, obviously, is where you put your videos. and it's just a no-brainer. The problem is, until we kind of put together this whole format, there's no other way to get this kind of quality for the cost we put together. Because I'm a computer nerd, because I figured out how to automate, systematize, we've systematized this. Mom and Dad made me go to computer classes just in case the professional baseball career didn't work out. And so we started off doing 1 show, then 2 shows, then 3 shows, and then we had to jump to 5 shows a week just to fill the demand, because here you get a professional video that looks dynamite, that'll let your business really showcase what they do, and you don't have to spend $10, $15, $20, $30,000 to do it. So if you'd like to be on the show, get a hold of us and understand these stats. When you're on a show like this, when you put this on your website, you're going to decrease your bounce rate by 34%. You're going to increase your close rate, your conversion rate, by up to 80%. We have clients tell us they get 25% more closed deals because of the show. They track this, they can speak to that. And you're gonna just get an overall boom for your business. You've gotta do video. If you don't do it through us, do it somewhere. Do it yourself, but do it professionally. Don't make your business look worse, make your business look better. This video can be used for up to 7 years. We have clients, we did an interview with them, 2020, it's 2026. They have made over $360,000 by using our video. They came back to do it again. So get a hold of us, jump on here, go to bigleagues.com. That's BIGG leagues.com. Or call us or text us right there, the phone number you see there. And we look forward to having you on our show. Stay tuned, giddy up. So there you have it, everybody. We like to share the fun we get to partake and talk about media, but literally like magnetize your media. What's that mean? Well, you need to magnetize, you need to bring some attention to your media, and there's a book out there that yours truly wrote the introduction for, the foreword. They said, Cardi, you wrote the first chapter, is what it came up to. #1 seller on Amazon, and but you can see they made me take my little pro picture in there with my sports coat on. But literally, media has changed the way things function. It used to be just getting the yellow pages, small business owners, but nowadays there's a lot more to it. You've been around for a long time. Tell me how this has evolved for you, and when you decided, okay, we better get a website, we've got to do social media.
So our biggest thing for most of our business was built on word of mouth. It was, neighbors and family members telling each other about it. And then as time goes along and there's become the growth in digital marketing, things like that, we see that change. So we had our own little website we made many, many years ago. And again, it was just a source for information that people could see who we were, get a little bit of basic information about us. And then we've slowly hired on a company to design us a website and to start to work on connecting the digital dots of, being available to see who's out there and, what they're doing, and can somebody come out and help you, and being able to be found when you search on Facebook or Google or anything else. Now AI is starting, and that's a whole nother thing.
That's a whole other monster. You're right. But yeah, I mean, it's so important to have good social media, because people, that's how they see it. They become familiar with it. They say, oh, I get everything by word of mouth. Well, it's still very likely they're going to go check out who you are. And they're going to look at your website. They're going to look at your social media. And if they see that you're doing stuff consistently and that it's high quality and that you're doing good stuff to help people, boy, it's just kind of a no-brainer. But you got to do it. It didn't used to be that way, but the technology has kind of evolved. Good feedback there. Tell me, what's the biggest mistake you see a lot of your competitors make when they're offering services? We're not naming names, of course, but something you see as a big mistake you don't let your customers make.
Again, a lot of it is we hear from customers that they have a 5-year-old machine and it needs a repair, and they called in and either the technician showed up or either over the phone they just said, oh, it's 5 years old, you should probably just buy a new one. And I just don't find that to be true. In a lot of things we service, average lifespan's usually somewhere in the appliance world for about 15 years or so.
Okay.
So if you able to spend say a few $100s to keep a $1,000, $1,500 appliance running, I think that's a worthwhile repair. Where we find out from some customers that they say, oh no, we had somebody else look at it and they just said, no, just don't even bother, just buy something new. And then again, who you're calling into your home and how they're going to treat you, and are you getting a salesman versus a technician? And you don't know anymore. It's hard to know.
Yeah, the technicians have been trained in sales, not just technical work, and sometimes the technical expertise is not there, but the sales expertise they have is, oh, buy a new one. We've become kind of a throwaway culture, a throwaway society. They talk about it. America is just where they just regurgitate all kinds of stuff, and you always have to be buying something new. Not always the case, though, and especially when you get something fixed for $75, $150, $200. That was a $1,000 appliance. Why would you throw that away?
Yep. Yeah, that's definitely a big thing is, knowing good lifespan and what money is good to spend. And that's where we're straightforward that we're going to come out, assess what's going on with the device and give you a straightforward idea of, hey, this is what's going to cost. Is it worth spending that money on it given the overall condition of the appliance? And that's the big thing is people call in and everyone always wants to know, well, what's this going to cost? And we try to give them a generalized idea about what something might cost based on the information they give us. But our big thing is to take a look at it as a whole and, okay, what's the overall condition of your machine? Are you having any other little problems that you haven't talked about when you scheduled with us, but when we get there you go, well, this is the big thing that's going on, but also this doesn't work or this hasn't been quite right or anything else. What are those going to take to fix? Let's make the thing whole for you and not just take care of one little problem if we can and make it affordable.
Great point. Yeah. Tell me, are you a fan of home warranties?
Home warranties can be good. We have done a little bit of work with home warranties. Generally speaking, it's a good idea. It's insurance. And like a lot of other insurance, sometimes they try to find ways that they don't want to have to pay for something.
Right.
So that's a struggle sometimes. We've been pretty good with being able to convey to the home warranty companies what needs to be done, what's happened, to be able to try to get those things covered for people. But it's the same as even if you buy a new washing machine and they offer you to buy a 5 or 7 year warranty. You're buying a chance at an insurance to maybe you need it, maybe you don't. Hopefully it comes in handy for you when you do have it.
Yeah, it was something that came to mind because I've dealt with that with my mom. She has a home warranty, and the guy came over and he said, "Yeah, it's rattling and making noise, but it's still working. So I can't technically fix anything as long as," she says, "but it's not supposed to be making those noises." Well, but it's still cleaning dishes. So, but you get into that decision, like I say, are they going to cover it? Do they want to cover it? But an expert like you can kind of help somebody walk through that.
Well, and then also give them the options if the home warranty isn't going to cover it for some reason. Hey, can we take care of this for you to make your life whole and let you move on without having to continue to replace or go down some other rabbit hole?
Right. Don't go down the rabbit hole, everybody. What's the biggest question that people give you before they get started, before they say, "Oh, I want a new garage door, I want a new appliance"? What are some of the questions you hear from people?
The big thing is a lot of them, they just ask me about my background. They want to kind of qualify who it is they're working with, which is a good idea. That's the best thing. I do the same thing. If anybody that I'm working with, I want to know about their background, their history, and what have they done. And that's part of what our website is that they can go and they can see pictures and projects and things that we've done, and they can see direct, reviews from customers that have worked for us, and talk to them directly. So those are usually the good things that customers are doing is trying to make sure that they're dealing with somebody that's a reputable company, is going to do what they say they're going to do, and is going to take care of the customer.
Yeah, you've got lots of great feedback from all the different social medias out there, including the BBB. You guys are really on the ball helping to make a difference on our little planet. Ultimately, when it boils down to it, what gives you the most satisfaction for what you get to do?
Happy customer. That's the best thing in the world. That's what's driven a lot of what I do, is to be able to solve a problem and make a happy customer, because it makes my day. If I have a trouble with a device or something that takes longer to repair or has an unknown issue that we got to trace down, the old, I took my car to the mechanic and it stopped making the noise when it was there, and that happens occasionally in our world, and those just bug me to no end.
All right, you're watching the Your Little Castle Show. Stay tuned, everybody. Giddy up.